Hi, everyone, and welcome to Your Health Beyond 50. Today, we're going to talk about the 5 mindsets that are keeping you from being happy. And we're going to go ahead and get started right now. All right, folks, here we go. We're going to talk about the 5 mindsets that are holding you back. It came up because I was asked this question just not too long ago. There was a series of questions in a personality thing that I was going over. We're going to review that book next week. It's Strength Finders 2.0. And one of the questions that was in it was what I felt that a mindset that was holding me back from keeping me happy. I thought it was a pretty good question. So what I first thought about was the first thing I needed to do was think about what's happiness. What makes me happy, and what is happiness. What it kind of came down to for starters was happiness is more about kind of where your head is rather than what's happening to us. So I work with as some of I work with firefighters and police officers, former military. A lot of them are struggling with tragic sets of circumstances of tragic events that they've had to deal with. I've been there. I've had to do the same thing. But for the most part, these folks are pretty happy and go through life and just deal with it. But the funny thing is I also work with a lot of people who struggle to feel happy even when good things happen to them. And in their minds, for some reason, one reason or another, they don't feel like they can give themselves the opportunity to be happy. Celebrating promotions, telling stories, whatever it is, they just can't accept the joy or the happiness in the moment. Now, I've been there, you've been there. A lot of us have been there, and you catch yourself, and I've caught myself, and I ask myself, why can't I just be happy with what I just got? I got what I wanted. So what it came down to through all the research and the discovery and where I went through and what I walked through, I came up that, these mindsets are not positive, definitely not a good way to think. And so here's my list of the 5 mindsets that roll around in our head that keep us from being happy. I'm going to start off with number 1 here. And why it's just basically that. Why can't I be happy? Promotions are a great way to, they're a positive thing. Why can't I just be happy that I just got another spot in a job? I just moved up that ladder. What you discover is it really wasn't the position that was making you unhappy. It was your mindset, where your head was at. The unhappy feelings revolved around something other than the position. Maybe it was the respect that came with the position. You were supposed to get some, but as you know, it's earned, not given. So there's a little disappointment with that, maybe, or but whatever the reason, you're not happy. It had nothing to do with the position. And when positive things happen, you just don't recognize it. So that's one of those things that, for mindset number 1 is, you're just asking yourself, why can't I just be happy? So mindset number 2, sometimes good things happen and then, but then something bad follows. It's kind of a funny one. Has anybody called you Eeyore maybe? Or, that's the donkey from Winnie the Pooh, for those of you that don't know, been living under a rock. Maybe it's because you can't see the good in the moment, or maybe you're feeling like, okay, when this is over, when's the bad going to happen? You need to just take a minute and bask in the moment, and you need to enjoy the accomplishment. Enjoy what you just got done. Maybe you had a bad feeling right after something awesome happened to you. The feeling, that now that something great happened, now I'm going to get struck by lightning at any minute. So, the problem is you can't be happy if you're waiting for doom and gloom to happen. And I know it seems crazy, but there are many people who feel it's not possible for good things to happen without something bad happening also. Yin and yang, good and bad, it all doesn't work like that. The universe listens, however, and I'll tell you that. And if you put a bunch of thought into something negative happening, I promise you, the universe just might oblige you. So, and here's the thing, you're waiting for something bad to happen. And if you're one that deals with anxiety and stress, talk about stoking up the anxiety fires. If you're waiting for something bad to happen, anxiety is just around the corner. For most of us, if some people expect something to happen to take all the good out of everything that happens, they when you start expecting the bad stuff, all the good fortune goes away, all the fun goes away. So, get that out of your head that if something good happens, something bad follows. Number 3. So one of the things is I don't deserve this. This is another interesting one. You're supposed to celebrate the achievements that you have. You're supposed to let others celebrate it with you. That's part of that process. But it's hard to celebrate any process when you feel you don't deserve the achievement. It happens a lot when you inherit money, or you feel like you found the one, you know what I'm talking about? And it feels just a little bit too good to be true. So you start second guessing yourself and start second guessing the situation. There's a lot of people that have no confidence in their abilities. You get a great promotion. However, you think the boss really not calculated this out, and he's miscalculated your abilities. Then you go into this I don't deserve it mode. Don't do this to yourself. It was your abilities that got you that promotion. Your boss knows what they're doing. Again, bask in the moment. It doesn't matter why. Just thinking you don't deserve to be happy will fulfill itself and prevent you from really looking at the moment and just taking in the happy moment. Number 4. So this won't last. Yes, truthfully, nothing ever does. But you know what? When you feel the more you have to lose, you're going to squash any moment of joy. It's going to be impossible to enjoy the present good stuff that's happening if you're worried about the possibility. Now, I'm going to say it again, the possibility of the future, something going away. It's an interesting thought. The more you have to lose. So it doesn't matter if you're worried, your personal luck is about to end. So then again, maybe you think your success at work or your success at business is falling off. All these worries based on possible future events is going to steal the moment. If you're worried about your business falling off, you're not doing the job of your business. You're worried about your business falling off. And I promise you, friends, family, coworkers, and your clients will be able to see that. It's just like having a really great dream that turns into this never-ending nightmare. Why would you celebrate it if you feel the sky is falling and could crush you at any moment? I know you ask yourself that question. But you know what? Worrying about the sky is falling at any moment is keeping you from that joy. So number 5. That's not as good as what I expected. Remember when you were a kid, birthday, Christmas, some other event came around, you couldn't wait. You built it up, this gigantic thing. Finally the event was here. It's tomorrow. It's going to be tomorrow morning. You can't sleep. You're so excited. Tomorrow comes, falls flat. Disappointing. It's been my experience, the build-up is way more exciting than the event most times. When you're a kid, you don't realize those things. But as we get older, we do realize this. We say things in our head like, I'll have more friends when I lose weight, or finally I'll get the respect, go back up to that promotion thing. Your thoughts after a long thought promotion, setting these unrealistic expectations, most of the times leads to frustration and disappointment. Just remember, reaching the goal might not necessarily solve the problem. Sometimes reaching the goal is just a step to another goal. Look forward to the next step. Celebrate in completing the first step. Again, celebrate the moment. You just completed that step. Look forward to the next one. And when we set these unrealistic expectations or ideas about how good we should feel or how we believe it will complete us in some small way, it's going to lead to so much unhappiness. There's a lot of ugly in the world today. That makes it even more important to enjoy our successes while being realistic in understanding that even though it's a positive event, it won't cure everything that ails us. So I did throw in a number 6, so that kind of an oops. Number 6 is kind of a strange one. It's not enough. In society today, everything moves so fast, and that includes what we do, the tasks we perform. So the phrase, "What have you done for me lately?" really comes to mind, and it really sets in. It seems no matter what we've accomplished at work, what project we've been given, what we've earned or built. So many believe everything would be so perfect if we're able to get just one more thing, just a little bit more. I mean, I know you hear it. I do. I hear it every day. We even say it to ourselves sometimes. Maybe it's an easy trap to fall into. If I just had more money, if I could just enjoy life, if I had more money, I could just enjoy life a little bit more. If I just got that promotion, I'd be just a little more successful. When we live in that, it's just not enough mentality. We're preventing ourselves from enjoying the successful moment. Again, we're robbing ourselves of these moments, and these moments are what makes us happy. So, how do we change this or reset this mindset? That's the question, because we want to get back to this even keel, this moving the ship in the right direction. And I'm definitely not immune to these feelings myself. I catch myself in these self-destructive patterns in my head. It keeps us from recognizing and accepting the happiness and joy that comes from something good happening to us. So the first thing I do is I take a deep breath. Literally, I take a deep breath. I know, it as simple as it sounds, it's amazing what a deep breath will do for your stress. I'm serious. Stop for just a second right now and just take a deep breath. I did it just before I came on the podcast. I do this all the time before I come on. It makes me nervous being on here, but I have to take that deep breath, let it out. And after this, I just remind myself to be happy with what I have right here, right now. There's no need to put happiness on hold for what we might have or what we might get. When we do something great, celebrate it. Take a moment and realize your accomplishment. So here's the deal. This is the takeaway. You need to start with the rest of your mind and the rest of your thoughts. I use audio recordings. You need to reset everything. And I use audio recordings to relax my thoughts. And if you don't do daily affirmations, you're robbing yourself of quality time with the person that means the most to you. That's you. So you, me, we set aside time for everyone else all day long to make sure that their needs are taken care of. Take 30 minutes in the morning for some relaxing listening or positive reading. None of that news crap. Maybe even a little exercise or some yoga. I just recently started doing yoga. I didn't like it at first. It's starting to grow on me now. It's an interesting, you don't realize just how unflexible you truly are until you start doing a little bit of yoga. Anyway, I do both every morning. I do an hour total time spent. That's it. And I'm 100% for the day. I use the recordings to relax. I use them while I'm doing yoga or some plank moves or something like that. So what I'm saying here is give yourself an hour in the morning and it'll give you the whole rest of your life. So I'm just saying, just give it a shot and give it a try. Anyway, have a great rest of your day. Remember, be brave, be courageous, and be yourself. Have a great day.